One of the things I've always loved about Bricks Builder is the ability to use the text area, the text field, and be able to input dynamic data inside there in the flow of your content. It just opens up a ton of really cool possibilities, and something that I wished Elementor actually had straight out of the box. Well, it turns out it actually does allow you to do it. And thanks to Inline for bringing this to my attention. Link to his original video is in the description. And I'm going to show you how you can use it in a couple of different ways, and also how you can use it with ACF and Jet Engine. So it gives you a couple of options to use this technique. So let's take a look at what I'm talking about. Now, if we take a look at this particular job role, you can see it tells us this role is based in this example, Cardiff, with a salary of £30,000. If we take a look at this marketing manager, you can see this is also based in Cardiff with a salary of £50,000. Finally, if we take a look at the advertising executive, see this is based in London and a salary of £25,000. You kind of get where I'm coming from. This London and this actual value of the salary are dynamic fields pulled in from the relevant ACF fields associated with this job role, put dynamically inline in the content. Now, this first example is using advanced custom fields, the free version, so you don't need Pro, but you do need Elementor Pro to get this working the way that we want it to, with templates and so on. So let me show you how easy it is to do it. I've got a field group set up called Job Details. Inside there, we've got a bunch of different fields, including the salary and the location fields. Now, it's important to take note of these names, the salary and location, because we're going to need to reference those inside our template. Next, come down to the bottom, you can see this is associated with the custom post type of job. So with that information in hand, hopping over into the theme builder in Elementor, let's first of all take a look at the single post template for our job. So here's our template. I've taken out what I previously set up with that inline content, and we're going to recreate it. All we're going to use is a standard text editor field. We'll pop that where we want it, which is above the content, and we're going to replace this written content with some of our own. Okay, so we're at the point now we want to put some dynamic data in. So this is the format we're going to be using. We're going to open the brackets. These have to be the square brackets. And we're going to use ACF space field equals, and then we're going to use the single speech mark or single quote mark. Now, you can use the double, but this is somewhere where you need to be careful because you may have incompatibility issues. The other thing to make sure is that you don't end up using the same field names in other parts of ACF. This could cause problems. So let's open up that single speech mark, and we're going to put in the word location, all lowercase, because that's exactly what we had set up inside ACF. Then we're going to close that speech mark, and we're going to just close the square bracket. I'm going to continue our sentence. Next up, we want to put the salary information. So we're going to use exactly the same structure. So open the square brackets, ACF space field equals, open that speech mark, put the relevant field name in, close that single speech mark, and close our square bracket. And we're going to put a full stop outside to end that sentence. Now you can see this just leaves those pieces of information in the ACF field location for both of these, and nothing is replaced. So inside the editor, you ain't going to see anything. Just to make it easy, let's make these bold, and let's save our template. Okay, so the template has now been created, and we should have all our dynamic data showing up. Let's choose one of our job roles. We'll take the social media planner. And now you can see the role is based in Cardiff with a salary of £30,000, and Cardiff and salary are both in bold. If we jump back out of here, we can test this on the advertising executive, which is based in London. And again, you can see the information is being displayed the way we want it to. Now, there are obviously limitations. You can only put really sort of simplistic fields inside here. You can't really nest repeater regions and so on. Things may get a little bit funky if you try it. But you can see how easy it is to use it. And this is inside a template. Now, you're not limited here. You can also use these inside a typical Elementor loop. Let's take a quick look. Okay, so we're into the loop now, and what we're going to do is we're going to do the same again. We're going to drop in a simple text editor. We'll pop that at the bottom, and again we can do the same thing. So let's just say the salary for this role is, and whatever the value is, and we'll underline it and make it bold so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Let's hit update, jump over to the front end of the site, and you can see now on our loop, we've got the salary for this role is and whatever the salary is for each of these. So you can see just how easy it is to use it inside your loop, inside the single post template, lots of different places inside your website design. Great if you want to personalize things or just pull in relevant information into this context of a sentence or paragraph. Pretty cool. Now, we've seen how to do it inside here with ACF, but what about if we want to use Jet Engine? It's similar, but not exactly the same. We need to just make a few tweaks and changes to make sure that it shows up correctly inside there. So let me show you that as well. So like we saw before, this is my layout. As you can see, it's a bare bones thing, but we can see we've got the role is based in London with a salary of 30K. So we're going to do exactly the same thing here with one of our templates. We're going to start off in fundamentally the same way. We're going to open that square bracket up. We're going to do jet_engine space field equals, and again, the same kind of things. We're going to open up our single quotation mark and put in location. Again, I made sure these are in all lowercase, and then we're going to close that out and close our square bracket out. And we're going to say, and the salary is, and the same again. Open our square brackets up, jet underscore engine space field equals single quote mark salary. Close our single quote mark, close our bracket off, pop our full stop in, and again, let's just make those bold so we can easily see them stand out on our page. We'll update our template, jump back over to our test page, refresh this now, making sure that you notice that London and the price. Now we're going to refresh this page and we'll take a look at the changes. So you can see London and salary are both underscored and in bold, and the changes we made are only in bold. So you can see there is the inline information. It is that simple, but it's really useful and powerful, I think, if you want to open up a ton of possibilities. So first of all, a big shout out again to Imran for bringing this to my attention. It's been cool to see we can actually start to utilize these options inside Elementor. And it's also good to see we can use ACF and Jet Engine if we want to. But as always, I'd love to know your feedback. Do you use this kind of technology? Is this something that you would start using now you can see how easy it is to implement into your projects? Let me know in the comment section down below. As always, all links are available inside the description. My name is Paul C. This is WPTuts, and until next time, take care.